Hi, I have an update on my Atari Cabaret build. It's 99% finished, just a few minor little things to do, but everything is installed and working. I'm just going to flip it around and show you the inside of what I've done, and then we'll also talk about a few things on the front. I haven't painted the back. I need to make a door, so I thought I'd do that all together. So down at the bottom we have a switch which is linked into the power supply. The power supply is HunterX US 250, so that drives the monitor and the game. So this switch is linked in to the cutoff switch on the side of the power supply. Main power comes in here and goes to just there on the power supply. Then on the other side we have the output for the monitor, and we have the output for the game. So I made a little slide out board to put the games on. Have a fuse block just there for 5 volt, 12 volt minus 5 volt. Have a standard wired Jamma harness. At the moment I have a Game L412 in 1 vertical. It was the most flexible choice to start off with. Up in the top we have an HunterX MTC 9000, which was a dead monitor when I brought it. I did lots of testing and rebuilt the chassis quite a few times. Found that the neck yoke was shorted. Eventually found a seller on UKVAC selling a yoke, put the yoke in, rebuilt the board again, produced the smoke, rebuilt it again, didn't want to turn it on ever, decided to send it to Gunblade on UKVAC, who confirmed that I had fixed it and it was just a few little minor things. So he tested it for me, and that works perfectly now, although the picture is not the great, but for how much it cost me, I can live with that. I had the oval speaker, which we saw in the original build, and that must have been damaged because as soon as I switched on the game off, the sound just stopped working. It no longer produces sound on the Jamma edge connector, so I had to put in some cheapo PCB speakers. They run off 5 volts, so it was nice and easy. Then here we have my very slim marquee, and I made a little basic 555 timer dimmer circuit so I controlled the brightness. Here I 3D printed a little bracket for a service system. We have the controls for the monitor. So that's basically inside. Everything is quite flexible, so I can change things around as and when I need to. So now let's go around to the front and see the details on there. Okay, so we have the speaker grill that I did, the back printed mini marquee from Arcade Art Shop, and then the Atari style coin door. So what I've done on the coin door is I've 3D printed a little system. So when you press the coin return, the coin return mech pushes on the micro switch, and then I have a little bulb which fits in there to light that up. So that's a really easy way of getting credits in without destroying anything. It just screws onto the back of the original mech, and there we can see the test and service buttons, and then access to the monitor controls. I've still got that same black control panel, but I've changed out the joystick, so we now have a brand new joystick on there. And then I've got the wiring harness, which goes to a 9-pin Molex, the brackets to clamp the control panel down. Before we put that on, I 3D printed some supports that hold the plexi at the right angle in the right place, and then still allow me to get the monitor in and out. Because of the way that I designed it, it was quite hard to get the monitor out with the support that goes all the way across. So there are all the details. I've obviously tested this many times. I actually recorded the whole assembly of putting the cabinet together from start to finish, all of the electronics, everything. And I was getting really bad flickering on the monitor, so I decided to change it over to NTSC 60 frames per second, and the camera basically decided, I'm going to format your memory card without actually asking you if you want to. So it wiped a whole day of putting everything into this cabinet, and I was pretty gutted. So I just got on with everything else and got everything working. This afternoon I spent a bit of time trying to get the monitor working as best as I could. It's not very good, but it looks loads better than it was before. So like I say, I have a Game Elf 412 in 1 in there at the moment. I've got loads of games on that I really like. Plus it was just really easy to get going. I do have a JPAC that we can plug in. I have a Mr. FPGA board that we can test as well. I've been playing with that, and then obviously we could put anything else that we want in. I still have the Karate Champ board that I was going to use, but that means making another control panel. So for the moment I'm just going to stick with this. So here we go. So we can see the marquee is lit up really nicely, and also the coin return is lit up with that little red bulb that we had. So overall it looks really nice. Let's see if I can get a good spot on the screen. So like I say, the screen's not the best, but it's loads clearer than it was. I've been playing Astro Blaster.
Fighter pilots needed in Sector Wars. Play Astro Blaster.
The one thing I really like about this Game Elf over the 16.1 is you can just come out of the game. Just hold down player 1. Go back to the menu. That's really good. And once you're in a game, it stays in the game as well. So no more, every time you finish the game on the 16.1, it just quits back.
Alert, invader, sector 1, player 1 to battle station. Laser temperature critical. Laser temperature critical. Laser overheated. Warp activated. Laser temperature critical. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Exercise extreme caution. 2 ships remaining. Fuel status marginal. Extra fuel. Stand by for docking maneuver.
I really like this game, it's cool. Do remember it.
Alert, invader, sector 2, player 1 to battle station.
So we can just go back to the menu. So one of the reasons that I also brought this was because it has Tempest, but I don't obviously have a spinner at the moment. I need to get rid of a lot of stuff that I'm not going to play. So the Tempest is actually raster graphics, so it doesn't look obviously as clear and sharp as it should do with it being vector. And I really need to get a spinner if I wanted to keep it like this, but the spinners are quite expensive, so I'm going to try and make my own. Another thing that I've noticed is a lot of the games are smaller once you loaded them than the menu system is. So unless you make the menu system oversized, the games look quite small. So that's it, that's my Atari Cabaret pretty much finished. Working with Jamma harness, just simple 3 buttons and the 1-player start. So my next video that I'm going to do will probably be using the Mr. FPGA with a JPack, plugging it into this and testing out some of the games that are on there. So thank you for watching, and hopefully you've seen me building this Atari Cabaret. There's 16 parts all on a playlist, and this will be tagged on to the end. So thank you and see you again.